It's game day here at Concordia University, Chicago, as the Cougars welcome the visiting Benedictine University Eagles for a little afternoon doubleheader here in River Forest. My name is Peter Borkowski. I'm joined by Justin Bjorseth. Justin, playoff push is here. Cougars are ranked 9th in the conference, just a couple spots out of that last 6 seed. What do they got to do to get there? What's this final push going to be for the Cougars?
Well, I think it starts today. I think these are two really important games against the top team in the conference. If the Cougars can manage just even a split today, they'll put themselves in a very favorable position considering their remaining schedule to, be in the thick of things next week. All you want next week is a chance to play meaningful baseball in the final week of the season. Getting a split today is a good start. They get a day off tomorrow on Saturday, which is rare. That'll lead them into a doubleheader at Rockford on Sunday, where then it starts becoming, okay, you got to win these games. They got the right guy on the bump to get them going. I think today the starting pitching has been huge in their wins as of late. If Rector's able to set the tone on the mound, I think the offense will follow. It's a pretty warm afternoon, at least warm compared to what they've been playing in. You got the wind blowing in. You know Benedictine's going to pitch. Can the Cougars hit offensively, and can Rector set the tone?
Well, Justin mentioned it. Benedictine, number 1 in the conference, coming in today, 21-8 overall record, 15-1 in the conference. It's going to be a tough task ahead of the Cougars if they want to pull out at least one win here today. Really quick, we'll go over the starting lineup for the Benedictine Eagles. They'll be batting first in just a second. Leading off for the Eagles, it's the second baseman, number 8, Ryan Dubeck. He's followed up by the designated hitter, Kevin Bushnell. Batting third, it's Castile Damon, and batting cleanup, Cole Wilson. Andrew Tennyson's batting 5th, and 6th in the lineup is Chase Hanselman. Peter Torelli, he's batting 7th, playing short, and batting 8th is Kyle Williams. Cleaning up the lineup at 9th is the center fielder, Anthony Lenza.
Yeah, so a couple guys to keep a particular eye on in this Benedictine lineup. Bushnell and Castillo bat 2nd and 3rd. They are both in the top 5 in the conference in runs batted in. So a lot of the production in this Benedictine lineup comes from the top of the order. Rector has a very good chance here to make a statement with a clean first inning.
Well, let's talk about Rector a little bit. He's coming in today, 7 appearances as the first pitch is lined into right for a leadoff single. That's coming off the bat of Ryan Dubeck. So one pitch, and the Eagles have a base runner on already. Back to what I was mentioning, Jack Rector, he's making his 8th appearance today, 7th start, 0-1 record, 3.95 ERA. The left-hander has held opponents to a .255 batting average, and like Justin's been saying, he's got a tall task ahead of him with a very good Benedictine lineup. As the first pitch, the second batter, Kevin Bushnell, is a little high for ball 1. Bushnell DHing for the Eagles today, batting .299 on the season. As the 0-1 down low, that'll be ball 2. Good block there by Cougars catcher Michael Zavoli. He's going to hold Dubeck at first. Bushnell has appeared in all 29 games for the Eagles. He started in all 29 of them as well. Very powerful bat. As the 2-0 hit, Uba collects it. Out at second, and a nice play there by Brody Mariotti to get the out. So Cougars turn a double play thanks to Matthew Uba, Christian Jacob, and Brody Mariotti. So things all of a sudden look a lot better for the Cougars.
Yeah, that's huge from Rector there to get that ground ball, get it out, put it out away. Now he faces the middle of the lineup coming up without anybody on base. Chance here to put the first pitch hit away, put it behind him, and move on.
Rector got off to a rough start. First pitch was a hit, and then he fired 2 balls as that one's in there for a strike. And he got some help from his defense on that double play. Nice grounder right to Matthew Uba at shortstop.
Big power numbers from Castillo. 7 home runs, 10 doubles. We mentioned the RBIs, 38 driven in.
That one's going to squeak its way into right field. It was a slow roller. Christian Jacob couldn't get there in time. So that'll be a single for Castillo.
Yeah, he found a good spot there. Jacob probably had him shifted a little bit more up the middle, not typically worried about the right side of the infield when you have a power hitting right-handed hitter up, and sometimes the ball finds the right spot, and if you're Castillo there, that's exactly what happened.
It wasn't a fast hit ball, but just found enough space to squeak in there for a single. So Benedictine got another runner on base. His first pitch is a strike to Cole Wilson, starting in right field today.
That's a good spot for Rector. If he can live down there, keep the ball out of the top part of the zone, that's how you get these ground balls, which he's gotten 2 in a row.
The 0-1 just outside, called for strike 1.
Ball 1.
Ball 1, excuse me. Cole Wilson, he's doing impressive work in his freshman season. 386 batting average, started in 23 games, appeared in 2 more. As that one's popped up, Maynard and Jacob both going for it. And Maynard can't reel it in. It gets past him. Looks like he lost that one in the sky. There's quite a bit of cloud overcast here in River Forest. That ball probably blended in really well with the cloud. So Maynard's going to drop that one, and ending up on second is going to be Wilson, and now on third is Castile. So big scoring chance here for Benedictine in the top of the first as they got 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that's a tough break that you usually can't afford to give to a team like Benedictine, especially after Rector worked around the leadoff hit, getting the double play. He's got the favorable lefty-lefty matchup here. It'll be interesting to see what Rector has to offer.
First pitch to Tennyson. Gets away from Zavoli, but he's able to spring over there in time to grab the ball. Make sure runners stay where they are. Castile thought about it for a second, decided to pull back, get back on third safely. 1-0 count to Tennyson.
.22 ribbies for Tennyson, batting behind some of the best run producers in the conference.
That's a nice pitch, called for strike 1. 1-1 count now on Tennyson. Junior starting at third today. Got a big chance to open the game up right here in the top of the first. He's got 2 outs, though. As the 1-1 just outside, 2-1 count now.
That didn't miss by much. It seems as though he's trying to work him away.
Rector, left-hander, gets the signs from Zavoli, gets set and fires.
Setting up away again.
A little too far away as it's now 3-1 count on Tennyson.
And now you're in a spot here where you probably have to come back a little bit more over the plate than Rector probably wants to in this situation, but you don't want to load the bases.
Following up Tennyson is Chase Hanselman, another freshman in this Eagles lineup. He's batting .235. Is that one? It gets away from Zavoli again. There's going to be a play at the plate. And getting the out is Rector. Nice cover there by Rector. Good play by Zavoli. So the Cougars escape the situation. They get the third out at home plate. Benedictine can't capitalize on the 2 runners in scoring position. We're going to go to the bottom of the first now. No score yet here in River Forest. Cougars coming up to bat here in the bottom of the first. They got out of the top of the first. Benedictine had 2 runners in scoring position, but a nice play at the plate from Zavoli and Rector got them out of it. Justin, can you give us a little sneak peek at what we can expect out of this Cougars lineup?
Yeah, first I wanted to comment that was I thought a very interesting send by Benedictine there. You know, I know you're trying to get early runs and you got the bottom of the order coming up, but you know, they had a few hits, a few balls that bounced their way that inning. Really, besides the double play, everything had kind of gone their way. You had the couple hits, the error, then you had the walk there. So really interesting to me, if interesting is the word, kind of making the last out on the base paths in an inning like that. Right now for the Cougars offense, it needs to start early. Howie Hatton is known to have some very big games in the leadoff spot since he's sort of found his home there.
Well, Hatton, a very good contact hitter. He's batting .353 on the year. Has appeared and started in 26 games for the Cougars this year.
Yeah, and he has some pop in that bat too, and he's quick on the base paths. Getting him on base, it all starts with one.
The first pitch, it's going to be roped into left field. It's going to get down. This should be a two-bagger for Hatton as he heads to second. The relay throw is in, so stopping at second base is Howie Hatton, a leadoff double for the Cougars, and that's a good sign of things to come, Justin.
Yeah, well, interesting. Both teams came up and attacked the first pitch, both resulting in hits. Hatton there, I mean, he didn't miss any of that. That's about as hard as you can drive a baseball into the gap.
Well, I'll talk really quick about the pitcher on the mound for Benedictine, another left-hander, as we got two lefties on the mound to start today. Steven Sewerk. 3.38 ERA, 4-2 record. He's appeared in 7 games, all of which he started as Hickman shows bunts, lays it down. It's going to be a close play at first, and they're going to call him safe. Nice play there from Eli Hickman. Caught the defense off guard. He got the first safely and also advanced Hatton to third.
Just great speed, and Hickman utilizes one of his best tools, which is his speed. We've seen it in center field all season, and we see it there. You have the opportunity to do that. You got the pitcher with the lefty on the mound kind of coming off to an awkward side, going to field that ball, and then he's got to turn himself to throw. Those extra seconds become so valuable when you have the speed that Hickman has getting down the line.
Great situational awareness from Hickman, and now it's Michael Zavoli at the plate. As he's the first Cougar to not attack the first pitch. That one's high for ball one. Zavoli batting .342, starting at catcher today for the Cougars. Started 12 games, appeared in 14. As he takes a swing at that pitch for strike one.
One of the few switch hitters left in today's game. You don't see this all too often anymore.
Valuable weapon for the Cougars. He's got a good duo at catcher between Zavoli as he gets hit in the head. Took that one right off the helmet. Looks like he's mostly okay as he makes his way to first. So hit by pitch is going to load the bags for the Cougars.
And with their hottest hitter coming up, Gary Maynard.
I was just going to mention Maynard. Probably no one else you want at the plate right now. Maynard's been seeing that ball like it's a beach ball lately.
Yeah, up to, I believe, 6 home runs on the year. We'll give that a double check. I think 5 of them were last week, so
Maynard's
ball has been launching off his bat
on an absolute tear as of recently. And he's got a pristine scoring chance here with the bags loaded, no outs, as he takes a big swing at that first pitch. I think we knew what he was thinking on that one.
Well, I'm not surprised to see him go up there swinging. The only one who didn't was Zavoli, and those weren't strikes. You knew if it was going to be anywhere close. The Cougars want to get on the board as early as possible. This is a great opportunity.
As that one hit. Oh, and it's bobbled by Torelli at short. He's going to fire first. They do get the out there, but the Cougars are able to bring one across home plate as Hatton scores the first run of the day. So Cougars, it wasn't the prettiest, but they do get the first run. They're up 1-0 now on Benedictine. Still got 2 runners in scoring position for another one of their big bats in Brody Mariotti.
Yeah, that just shows the value of putting the ball in play. Maynard hits it to short there. Even if they end up turning 2 on that, which the opportunity was certainly there, the run is going to come home. Benedictine is rightfully upset about that swing call. I thought Mariotti won a round on that. It's tough when you appeal to the umpire and he's standing out beyond the pitcher's mound, the ump at home probably has a better view.
Mariotti, he's going to hit that one in the left field. This should drive home at 2 runs. Mariotti's going to stop at first. So a 2 RBI single for Brody Mariotti and the Cougars. They're off and cooking as they've scored 3 runs here in the bottom of the first. Still only 1 out on the inning.
The middle of this Cougars order has been very dangerous. Another guy step into the plate here, Kevin Garcia. He was on the team of the week last week after his big week. A few homers here against Aurora on Saturday and a grand slam at Concordia, Wisconsin on Sunday. So it's amazing what can happen when the top 2 guys in your order get on base. Hatton and Hickman have been doing their fair share of that, and these guys in the middle of the order are seeing their power numbers uptick because of it. They're getting opportunities to send their best bats to the plate with guys in scoring position.
The 0-1 just a little low. 1-1 now on Garcia. As Justin was mentioning, this trio of Maynard, Mariotti, and Garcia in the lineup, has been extremely lethal for the Cougars recently. We're seeing it take effect here as they've already got 3 runs here in the bottom of the first. As the 1-1 outside and away, 2-1 count now on Garcia.
Yeah, 13 combined homers between that trio last week. You're seeing with the weather warming, the Cougars offense really starting to come to life.
There's a 2-1 high, 3-1 count now on Garcia. He's only issued 11 walks so far on the season and 37 1/3 innings pitched.
Garcia should get something to hit here. Maybe not.
He won't, as that one gets away from the catcher, but it'll be ball 4, so Garcia's going to take his base at first. Mariotti's going to advance to second. Justin, it just doesn't look like Seaworks really found his spot yet. He's either not throwing strikes, or when he does throw strikes, they're really easy targets for the Cougars to hit because they've been hitting that ball hard whenever they get contact on it.
Yeah, and with a good pitcher like this, you have to assume that eventually he's going to go out there and find his rhythm, so you have to take all advantage that you can this inning when it doesn't look like he has it. Score as many as you can here, then even if he settles into his rhythm next inning and the 3rd inning and so on, however long he stays in the game, you got to him while he was vulnerable as he is right now.
Senior shortstop Matthew Uba at the plate now took a big hack at that one. I think he's swinging for Division Street there. Seaworks got an 0-2 count on Uba. Could be a big out here. The pitch low and away, so instead it'll be ball 1. Uba hitting .304 on the season, 19 games appeared in, 11 starts. He's drove in 6 runs so far this year. He's got a chance here with Mariotti in scoring position at second. He fouls that one back. He's going to stay alive for another pitch. Cougars wearing their home pinstripes today. Meanwhile, Eagles are traveling black jerseys and gray pants. And the pitch. Uba, that one hit to Torelli at short. Going to fire to Dubek for the first out, and that'll turn 2 as Castillo makes the catch. So Eagles, they turn a double play to get out of the inning, but it was a fruitful inning for the Cougars as they bring 3 across home. We're going to head to the 2nd inning. The Cougars, they're up on the Eagles, 3-0. Back here in River Forest, top of the second. Eagles are back at the plate. They're trailing the Cougars 3-0. It was a good bottom of the first for the Cougars. 3 runs, all of which were earned. Now, Rector back on the mound to continue his strong work after a pretty solid top of the first.
Yeah, now out there with a lead, you know, his job obviously becomes to hold on to the lead, not let Benedictine start, you know, slowly working their way back into this game, because it's still too early to tell what kind of game this is going to be.
That one hit into left field. Hatton's got an eye on it and makes the running grab, so fly out for the first out here in the second. Nice track by Howie Hatton. That's going to bring up Peter Torelli.
Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 23.
Sophomore shortstop, batting .333 on the season and 75 at-bats. As he'll face Rector for the first time today. Rector's first pitch up in the attic. Rector up to 16 pitches on the day. That one is fouled back, so it'll be a first strike on Torelli. 1-1 count now. Torelli will be followed up by Kyle Williams, and then batting ninth, he's in the hole right now, is Anthony Lenza. The Eagles are able to get to him.
At the bat.
It looks like it hit the bat, as Justin said. The Cougars gather it, fire to Mariotti, so that'll be out number 2 at first base.
One of the most unfortunate outs I've ever seen recorded for a batter. I mean, he was just trying to get out of the way of that pitch. A lot of times that will happen. It'll hit the knob of the bat and be foul. Very rare that you see that roll all the way out to the pitcher.
Very fortunate break for the Cougars. Unfortunate for the Eagles, if you want to look at it that way. Torelli almost looked like it hit him for a second the way he reacted. I think he was a little confused as to what was happening, too. But either way, it's out number 2, and that'll bring up the catcher, Kyle Williams. Number 44, another freshman here for Benedictine, batting .211. That one is a high pop-up, stays in the infield. Uba makes a catch. So the Eagles, they go 1-2-3 here in the top of the second. Clean inning from Jack Rector. We're going to head to the bottom of the second. The Cougars, they'll be up to bat, look to defend their 3-0 lead on the Eagles. So it'll be Caleb Anderson, Christian Jacob, and Howie Hatton up to bat for the Cougars here in the bottom of the second. They're leading Benedictine 3-0. And Justin, it looked like Rector really found himself in a groove in that top of the inning. 3 straight batters sent down. It was a quick top of the second. Rector's looking really good so far for the Cougars.
Well, it's exactly what you want to see, in that Rector worked right through the bottom of the order.
Anderson hits one to the short. Stop and a fire over to first for the first out as Torelli to Castile. So 6-3 ground out for Anderson. That'll bring up the bottom of the lineup, Christian Jacob, starting at second today.
But, yeah, a great chance for Rector there to set the tone even more so than in the first inning. Coming to the mound with the lead, facing the bottom part of the Benedictine order. That's not the kind of spot you want to get yourself into trouble in when you go out to the mound with the lead for the first time. So very encouraging sign for the Cougars that he was able to go out there and put up a 0, really with a very few pitches.
Yeah, it was a very clean inning for Rector as there's a 1-1 count now on Jacob. Jacob kind of a super utility player for the Cougars. He started in a couple games this year. He's playing second today. As he hits that one to Torelli, who collects it. And that'll be another 6-3 ground out. Well, we were talking about how Rector really found himself a groove, and it looks like Seawork's kind of doing the same thing as he's gotten the first 2 batters in this Cougar lineup to ground out after a bit of a troublesome bottom of the first.
Same thing with Rector. It's using the bottom of the order as a chance to get yourself settled in. Because Rector did give up those couple of hits in the first. Some unfortunate with the walk in the air as well, but now we'll see the Cougars a second time through the order. If their approach will change at all, at least for this top part, I would advise they go up there with the same approach they took the first time around. Good to see the patience, though, from Hatton.
The 1-0 is down low for ball 2. And hit a leadoff double to start the Cougars off in the bottom of the first. Swung at the first pitch and just absolutely lined it into deep left field. Ended up scoring a run. This one hit well into right, but getting under it and reeling it in is Wilson. So just as the Eagles went 1-2-3, the Cougars will do the same here in the bottom of the second. We're going to head to the third inning. The Cougars, they're still up 3 runs to zip on the Eagles.
At the end of 2, Cougars 3, Eagles nothing.
Top of the third time here in River Forest. Benedictine still looking for their first run of the day. To start the top of the third, it'll be Anthony Lenza, 9th batter in the lineup for Benedictine. Sophomore left fielder, batting .310 on the year. See if he can get something going off against Rector.
Yeah, Rector, you can't realistically expect to repeat that sort of second inning he had where it was over in the blink of an eye every single inning. But, you just keep doing what you're doing out there and keep, don't be afraid to pitch to contact. The walks are what's going to end up coming back to hurt you when you're playing with a lead like this, is when you allow the base paths to get cluttered and then the big hit can make put the Eagles right back in this game.
Just can't play scared against this Eagles lineup, especially when you got the top of the lineup coming up next with Dubeck. He's taking a big hack at that one. Lenza for the first strike of that bat. Second strike, excuse me. So Rector set for the 1-2. He'll deliver. Gets away from Zavoli, so now there's an even count at 2-2.
And I expect to see him go attack right here. I don't think he wants to mess around with potentially getting to a full count. The last thing you want to do is walk the leadoff guy, especially when it's the 9-hole hitter, and flip that lineup over for the second time.
It's going to be upstairs for ball 3. A big pitch coming up here from Rector to Lenza. As the 3-2, it's popped up. Uba calling for it. Makes the grab, so out number 1. And now we head to the top of the lineup for the Eagles with Dubeck, and Kevin Bushnell's on deck for the Eagles.
Second baseman number 8, Ryan Dubeck.
Second time through now, they've had a look at Rector, kind of know what's in his arsenal. We saw Dubeck go after the first pitch last time. I'd be surprised to see him do that here after, the guy before works a full count. I think we're going to see a little bit more patience, less early swings in the at-bat this next time through the order for Benedictine.
Well, as Justin mentioned, Dubeck swung at the first pitch of the game, got a leadoff single out of it before being thrown out at second on a double play ball hit from Kevin Bushnell. He's now up 2-0 on Rector. Rector delivers. That's down the middle for strike 1.
Yeah, definitely we're seeing the more patient approach because 2-0, that's a hitter's count. You're looking for that one pitch, and I don't know what that pitch would be if not the exact one that Dubeck got there.
Dubeck, good eye on that one. Holds off of it. It's high. So 3-1 count now on today's leadoff hitter for Benedictine. Rector delivers. Big swing. It'll take the count full 3-2. Second full count we've seen so far in this inning from Rector.
Let's see if he can't get the same result.
3-2. Just high, so that'll walk Dubeck, put a man on first for Bushnell. I mentioned up top, Bushnell, very dangerous hitter, 299 average, 37 RBIs on the year, 9 home runs as well.
Well, he got the double play last time.
Cougars would not mind seeing another double play ball here. Doctor gets set, and the first pitch to Bushnell. Looks like it almost clipped him in the foot. He gets out of the way of it, though. It'll be a 1-0 count. That one, Zavoli had to make a reaching grab for, so 2-0 count. Bushnell did have a 2-0 count when he hit into a double play at the top of the first.
Rector's just got to find the happy medium. He's missed blowing in at the feet, and he's missed up and away. Find something here, preferably low in the zone, and try to get that double play.
The 2-0. Also high. 3-0 count now on Bushnell. So all 3 batters so far this inning for Benedictine have had 3 balls from Rector. Lenza and Dubeck had full counts. So Rector's going to check the runner at first. Didn't look to be in any urgency there.
No, it's a good chance on a 3-0 count to just kind of compose yourself, buy yourself some time.
As the 3-0 swung on, looks like he got a piece of it as he fouls it back. Not surprised Bushnell decided to take a swing at that one with a 3-0 count. Just got a piece of it.
If you think the strike is coming, you only get 3 of them.
And the 3-1, that one's fouled off as well. So another full count here. If anything, Benedictine doing a good job getting Rector's pitch count up as he's at 33 now.
Yeah, it feels like, it wasn't too long ago you said 16. He got through that second inning so quick, it kind of mitigated any problems he worked himself into in the first. And now we've definitely seen the change and discipline Benedictine this next time through the order.
Bushnell's going to stay alive for another pitch. And this is only the third batter of the inning faced for Rector. He got Lenza to fly out to lead things off, and then he walked Dubek, but it feels a lot longer than that as all of them have worked a full count on him. Rector gets set. Was going to deliver. Instead, he's going to check Dubek at first one more time. Give himself a little time to think things through here. He gets the signs from Zavoli and gets set. He's going to fire to first one more time. Dubek does have 7 steals on the year on 9 attempts. Rector to 3-2. Upstairs, that'll be ball 4. Second straight walk issued by Rector.
That was a bold assumption of the walk there. That was a very close pitch to take on 3-2. Obviously, it worked out for Bushnell, but
First baseman, number 28, Damon Castillo.
I wasn't quite sure in the moment. I felt like that call could have gone either way.
Well, it looks like home plate umpire today, Neil Jeffries, working with what seems to be a tighter strike zone. We've just seen Rector and Searuck as this one's hit to Uba at short. They get one at second, and they'll get the double play. So great defensive play here from the Cougars. Great work by Rector to get out of it. So the Eagles, they had 2 on with only 1 out. Instead, they're going to the bottom of the third, still scoreless as the Cougars lead the Eagles 3-0. Cougars use a double play to escape the top of the third. Now they're going to get a chance to tack on some runs as the number 2 batter, Eli Hickman's up to the plate.
Center fielder, number 19,
They just
Eli Hickman.
infield single in the bottom of the first, using that little surprise bunt to catch the defense off balance. See what he can do here leading off for the Cougs. The first pitch is down low for ball 1. Strike 1, excuse me. Hickman's going to take a big swing at that one. 0-2 count now on the Cougar center fielder. That one away from Hickman, so 1-2 count. And we'll just get a piece of that one to stay alive.
I'd like to see the Cougars get some runners on for those big run producers coming up.
Mentioned that trio, Maynard, Mariotti, and Garcia, has been absolutely deadly for the Cougars, as Hickman's going to swing and miss on that one for strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Searuck. He's at 54 on the season. So 54 strikeouts to 11 walks. It's a pretty good ratio for the left-hander.
Yeah, the Cougars don't want to do him any favors in helping him find his groove. It seems as though the last couple innings he's settled in. We talked in the first about the importance of adding as many as possible. 3 is certainly a good first inning. But now here, we'll see how he works through the middle part of this order, because to me it's looking like he's figured out whatever it is he took out there with him in the first, he's left behind here now, and now he's starting to get those calls on the outside corner a little bit more. Michael Zavoli will definitely call for some pitches outside in the next half inning, I assume, after seeing that one called the strike on him.
Zavoli able to tip that one as it goes foul. 0-2 count on the Cougar catcher. In the first inning, Zavoli was hit by a pitch up in the helmet. Took it off really quick as he'll take that one.
That didn't look all too different from the strike 2 call. So that's interesting. We'll see if that maybe shakes the confidence of Sewerk.
And they're going to get Zavoli out looking. Justin said that one looked like the ball count we just saw as well as the strike count. So we're kind of playing with the zone, seeing what he can get from home plate umpire Jeffrey.
Right fielder, number 17, Gary Maynard.
So 2 Cougar batters up, 2 strikeouts for Sewerk, and that's going to bring up Gary Maynard. Grounded out in the first, but he's able to drive in a run with it. So he takes that one low for ball 1. 1-0 count on one of the Cougars' heavy hitters. One low and away. It'll be 2-0 now.
Maynard's looking for one pitch here. He wants to drive a gap at the very least to get himself in scoring position with 2 outs.
So he'll take that one low for ball 3, so 3-0 count now. I think Maynard might have the green light here. 3-0 count. He's probably going to get something to hit. That one just clips the zone for strike 1. The 3-1 from Sewerk. Maynard drives. That one's popped up to center. And able to reel it in is Lenza. So the Cougars, they go 1-2-3 for a second inning on a row. Sewerk's really found himself in a groove here. We're going to head to the 4th inning. Cougars up on the Eagles, 3-0. Cleanup hitter due up here for Benedictine to lead off the top of the 4th. Eagles trying to get something started here as they're still hunting for their first run of the day. So Cole Wilson reached on an error in the top of the 1st. Does a quick time, checks out his swing. The first pitch from Rector to Wilson misses for ball 1. The 1-0 behind away. 2-0 now.
Yeah, you don't want to see him keep falling behind hitters if you're a Cougar fan. He's obviously able to work himself around some dangerous counts last inning, but that's not necessarily the most sustainable method, especially in terms of keeping pitch count down. That in turn saves the bullpen when you have, especially when you have a second game still coming up.
That one chopped to Mariotti. He makes a grab, steps on the bag almost simultaneously for the first out.
Good play by Brody there. Just right spot. Fielded the ball while already standing on the bag. So if you're a first baseman, it doesn't get much easier for you than that. You just, the footwork, making sure you have the bag while you field the ball. But other than that, not really too far to go. Good play from Brody there.
So after the ground out from Wilson, they'll bring up Tennyson. He walked in his first at-bat. There's a pitch he was walked on in the top of the first that got away from Zavoli before he was able to make the play to Rector to get Castile out at home. That one's fouled off. 1-1 count now on Tennyson.
Good to see a lot of support from CUC students and student athletes out here at the Thunderdome on a Friday afternoon.
See some softball players, volleyball, and a couple football players in attendance. Women's soccer players as well.
Getting ready for the award banquet tonight.
That pitch is up in the attic, so 3-1 count now against Tennyson. That one called for a strike. Ooh, Tennyson thought he had ball 4 there.
And I mentioned this earlier. I never like when they assume the position of a walk, especially on a close pitch like that.
Jeffrey thought
that had the outside corner.
He thought otherwise. This one will be a grounder to Jacob. Collects, throws to Mariotti for out number 2. So 2 batters up, 2 batters down for Jack Rector here in the top of the 4th. Now he'll go up against the left fielder, Chase Hanselman. He got Hanselman to fly out to left in the second inning. See what he can do here against him second time through the lineup.
You're getting back near the bottom of that order. You retire Hanselman and you get 7, 8, 9 next inning in the 5th. So I know Rector's probably not thinking that, probably not looking that far ahead right now, but for the Cougars, that would be a very promising sign.
Well, a good chance for Rector to really get back into a groove as he did last time through the bottom of the lineup. He's had some troubles with the top of the lineup so far. That one was in the dirt for ball 1. So if he can cruise his way through these 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters, make his life a little easier when he gets to those heavy hitters up top.
Just high there.
Count stands 2-1 now.
That did not miss by a lot.
Peter Torelli on deck. He grounded out in the top of the second on that weird one that hit the knob of his bat as Hanselman pops this up. Anderson knows Zavoli's going to try and make a play on it, and he can't as it gets right past him. We saw it earlier in the game with Maynard. I think the ball is getting a little lost up in the sky.
I can't remember too many other games here this year where the wind was blowing in, and the wind isn't crazy today. It's not as crazy as we've seen it, but it is blowing in, and that is not
doesn't help.
It's not really conditions that they've necessarily played in. Typically the wind here blows out right to left.
And the 2-2 popped up again. This one's in play. Maynard coming all the way in and making the grab. So 1, 2, 3 inning from Jack Rector. He's going to have the 7, 8, 9 batters up next inning. But first, the Cougars will be up to bat. It's Mariotti, Garcia, and Uba. We'll have that for you in the bottom of the 4th in just a second. Brody Mariotti, who'll lead things off for the Cougars here in the bottom of the fourth. Listen, after that troublesome first for Seabrook, he's really found himself in a groove as he's retired the last 6 Cougar batters. Excuse me, last 7 Cougar batters going back to the first. That one grounder to Tennyson. Fires across the diamond. Castile for the first out of the inning.
8 in a row sent down now, so he's 1 out away from working through the entire lineup cleanly. Like we talked about in the first, it was important for the Cougars to go get those runs because you don't know against a pitcher like this when you're going to have those opportunities arise again. So it was good what they, being able to get 3 and, as long as Rector keeps cruising.
First pitch to Garcia up high for ball 1, and against a lineup as dangerous as Benedictine's can be, you want to get as many of those insurance runs as you can. I find it hard to believe that they're going to go scoreless in this one.
Yeah, that's the thing is that the Benedictine offense is capable of exploding at any minute. Every run matters.
Garcia pops it up. Torelli makes the grab for out number 2. Well, Benedictine ranked 3rd in the conference in runs scored at 227. They only trailed Dominican and Aurora.
Yeah, pitching is definitely their strength, but you don't get to where they're at without being on the upper end of things, both offensively on the mound as well as defensively behind the pitcher.
They do lead the conference in ERA, 3.68 mark. As Uba fouls that one off. Pretty big jump between them and second place in ERA. Second place is Lakeland right now. They have a mark of 4.48.
Yeah, team ERA under 4 is absurd.
Uba lines that one right to Torelli. So another 1, 2, 3 inning for Seabrook. He's really gotten himself in a groove. Now we're going to head to the 5th inning. Cougars are maintaining this 3-0 lead on Benedictine. See if they can keep it going when we're back on the Cougar Sports Net. Benedictine back at the plate. They got bottom of the lineup with the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Torelli, Williams, and Lenza. I mentioned it through last inning. It's a good chance for Rector to really get himself into a groove here in the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not already. I mean, if 4 scoreless innings already isn't a groove, but this is, hopefully a quick inning here with fewer pitches.
That's a good point to bring up. Rector's at 56 pitches now. Even though he's been throwing some scoreless ball, it hasn't been the most efficient. He's getting the job done.
Yeah, I mean, 56 is anything but egregious, but if you, try to work away from those 3-ball counts, it's a lot of full counts too, and he's been very good in those full counts when he's gotten there and he's had to throw strikes.
Well, that's something to watch with Benedictine is they're getting the counts they want. They're just not able to capitalize on. As the 2-on is swung on, grounded to Jacob, and that'll be a ground out. Just kind of what we were talking about right there. Torelli got the 2-0 with Rector,
Catcher
and then he
number
grounded
44,
out.
Kyle
So
Williams.
Benedictine, again, getting a good job getting that pitch count up. Just aren't able to really strike on it yet.
Yeah, very good point. They got the count they're looking for. You get in the hitter's count, you look for something to hit. You know, if you end up hitting that on the ground, you're probably kicking yourself a little bit back in the dugout, thinking you could have done more with the advantage in the count. But baseball is tough. Hitting is as hard as there is a thing to do in any sport.
It's not easy, no. Well, of his 59 pitches, Rector has thrown 29 strikes. But again, Benedictine not able to score that first run yet. Williams has himself a hitter's count, 2-0 now. Rector delivers the 2-0. It's fouled back. Well, we mentioned Benedictine pitching staff. The bottom of last inning as that one is grounded. It gets past Rector. He almost got a glove on it. So it'll be a hit from Williams. He'll end up on first base with that single for the ninth hitter, Anthony Lenza.
Center fielder number 32, Anthony Lenza.
I was mentioning, so Benedictine, they lead the conference in ERA with 3.68. The Cougars, they're ranked 6th with 5.53. But Rector doing solid work here today. As that bunt is foul.
Well, he showed it. We'll see if he goes back to it.
Lenza coming into today's game was batting .310 on the season in 23 appearances, 71 at-bats.
Sort of tough with the lefty up. You got to have Jacob where he's at, more toward, the middle. But with how he showed that bunt toward third, you wish you could throw Jacob a little bit more toward the middle of the infield. Because if that bunt, if he does end up dropping another one and it goes out as far as that last one did, Caleb Anderson would have had to play at second base if someone was there covering.
Anderson is playing in just in case Lenza decides to go for another bunt. He's got a 1-1 count. His Rector delivers, showed it for a second, pulled back and swung, fouled it off. Got the defense to jump, though. I think Cougars defense a little unsure what they're going to see here from Lenza now.
You have to think the bunt's probably out of the equation with 2 strikes, especially after he already fouled one of them off. Caleb is obviously thinking the same thing out of third.
He swings at that one, and it'll be another foul ball.
Almost got him on the wraparound off the net there.
Count remains 1-2. Lenza has struck out 12 times so far this year. He flew out in his first at-bat back in the third inning. He's going to take another swing, and he'll foul it off again. So yet another Benedictine batter really making Rector work for these outs.
Yeah, here he is ahead in the count and working probably harder than he has in most at-bats with all these foul balls.
That's 63 on the day now. He gets ready for 64. Delivers. And yet another foul ball.
We'll see who wins the battle. A lot of these situations end up favoring the hitter because he's kind of seen everything to this point. Rector has probably shown him a lot of what he has to offer. Just looking for that put-away pitch.
So 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And this one is going to get Lenza. So he got him on the hand as he's in a lot of pain.
It's called a foul ball.
It's called a foul ball. We're hearing it, though. You heard it hit his bat again.
You could hear the bat, but the question is, what it hit first?
What did it hit first, or did it hit both? His training staff is going to check on him. So the count will remain 1-2 if he's able to stay in the game.
I'm wondering if the umpire is considering changing his call. He's certainly getting a good case seeing him down in pain. I do think the foul ball is the right call, though. However, when you can hear it from up here, that had to have hit the bat first, and obviously unfortunate to see it follow. I'm watching a replay right now. Slowed down a little bit, and it definitely hits the bat with initial contact. It could have gotten both.
Looked like he clipped at least one of his hands, maybe on the top of him. Kind of jammed him up the middle.
The umps are going to give him first base. And now Colin Connor has his case, and we've seen on the replay Colin is correct in this argument. And I don't like that personally, Peter. I don't like when the umpires get together and make a call, you know. Change a call, I should say.
Well, I mean, no, obviously Lenza's in a lot of pain, and, you know, it looks like he has a good case, but watching the replay, I agree with you, Justin. It was a foul ball. And you got to think they're changing this mostly off of the reaction, and, of course.
Well, this is a huge situation, too, because you have the tying run now coming up to the plate in the top of the order.
With Dubek, right.
You know, that's not something you necessarily want to see handed to them. It's good to see, you know, him shake it off, though. For the most part, he looks like he's going to be okay.
It looks like he'll stay in the game, or no, it looks like we might get a pinch runner instead.
Well,
they're thinking about it.
Meanwhile, Coach Colin Connor is still having a conversation with the umpire. Little grand scheme of what's going on the diamond. There's a lot to unpack here. A lot of different conversations going on.
So you believe that's Anderson, Rector, and Zavoli up at the mound talking things through. As Lenza's going to head to first. I believe he's going to stay in. The pinch runner is still on the field.
Yeah, and
it looks like it'll be the pinch runner on first.
Again, not a fan of the umpires getting together to change a call after a call has been made. The home plate umpire heard that ball hit the bat just like we did up here. Obviously even more clear than we did. He made the call based on that. And now a very, very dangerous situation for CUC with the top of the order up, tying run on base. And something not talked about either, you know, Rector is just expected to go back and pitch here. That's a pretty long.
That's a long delay.
That's a long delay between pitches.
So the pinch runner on first, it'll be number 2, Sam Tickle. He is listed as an outfielder, which is what Lenza was playing today, so wouldn't be surprised to see him stay in the game. Either way, runners on first and second, one out. Top of the lineup for Benedictine with Ryan Dubek now. He's one for one. Hit a single in the top of the first to lead things off today, and then was walked in the top of the third.
Big to see Rector get ahead of him there. How about a ball don't lie double play here?
That would be a pretty desirable outcome, you got to think, for Rector. You got the third inning to end on a double play. That pitch squeaks away from Zavoli. Thought about firing to second. Instead, he's just going to pocket that ball. So advancing to second is Tickle. Advancing to third is Williams. And now, well, that takes a double play out of the equation.
Certainly does.
Or at least the easy double play.
A traditional one.
That one just misses. Be a 2-1 count now. Two runners in scoring position for the leadoff hitter of the day. As the 2-1. It's grounded to Ubet short. They'll get the out at first, but Benedictine's able to plate their first run of the day. Cougars are up 3-1 now on the Eagles. And a big-time batter coming up with Kevin Bushnell at the plate.
Yeah, so you go get Bushnell here, and you know, with how weird of an inning it was, you'd be happy to go away with just the one run, get the offense back at the plate. But yeah, a game that was cruising along kind of abrupted there by the massive discussion.
When a deep drive, it is foul. As far as you can hit a foul ball here. So that wild pitch from Rector really coming back to hurt him, as that looked like a prime double play ball to Uva. Said Benedictine able to score their first run, as that one almost looked like a clip Bushnell. He just got out of the way of it.
It rode in on the hands.
1-1 count on the designated hitter for the Eagles. Rector delivers.
It's a great spot on the 1-1 there.
In there for strike two.
He's put himself in a good spot now. Won't be surprised to see him deliver his best pitch of the inning here. You can't risk going too low with that runner on third base, however.
And the 1-2 outside. Looks like some of the Cougar faithful here wanted that to be strike three. Jeffrey not budging, so 2-2 count. Should mention Cougars do have someone getting warm in the bullpen.
Looks like Vinny Sartori.
One hit deep into left, and it's going to land foul.
Couple loud foul balls.
Good break there for Rector. Bushnell's getting good contact on it, just can't keep it fair. Count still even at 2-2. Big pitch coming up here from Rector. Man on third.
I'd go with the change of pace pitch after Bushnell was way out ahead of that one.
Bushnell, that's going to take time. Get himself in the right mind space as he's looking to drive in another run here for the Eagles. The 2-2. Fouled off. Rector gets the signs from his catcher. He's got a big pitch coming up here again. Delivers. That one popped up. Jacob able to get under it and end the inning. But Benedictine, they put one up on the RBI ground out from Dubeck. We're going to head to the bottom of the fifth. Benedictine, they're trailing the Cougars 3-1.
We're halfway through game one of our doubleheader. Cougars 3.
Couple of defensive moves for the Eagles here in the bottom of the fifth. Sam Tickle, he pinch ran for Lenza. He's going to stay in the game. He's going to go to right field. Moving from right field to center field, it's going to be Wilson. So Anderson at the plate for the second time today. He grounded out in the second inning. one of 10 straight batters that Seabrook has retired, going back to the first. The count stands 0-2 now on Anderson. Grounds that one. Dubeck collects it and throws it for the out. So with one out on the inning, that'll bring up the ninth batter for the Cougars, Christian Jacob. He's also 0 for 1, grounded out in similar fashion to Anderson back in the second. He lays down a bunt. Tennyson makes a nice play to first. They're going to get Jacob out. It was close, but good play there by Tennyson.
Yeah, just a little too much heat on that bunt. I love the idea when you're, struggling to produce any sort of base runners, as the Cougars have been since the first. You try to get somebody on by any means necessary. The 9-hitter dropping a bunt with the top of the order following is a really good spot for that, because they haven't forced Sewerk to pitch from the stretch in a while. So if anything, you just kind of want to maybe try to change his delivery, take him out of his routine whatsoever, get him a little bit uncomfortable. But yeah, the bunt just had a little too much heat on it, rolled right to the third baseman.
Count 1-1 now on Howie Hatton. 1 for 2 in the day. Hit a leadoff double to start the day off for the Cougars before flying out to center field in the second. This one gets past a diving Tennyson. So Hatton is going to be the first Cougar base runner on since the first inning. That's going to bring up Eli Hickman now.
And maybe that'll change Sewerk's groove a little bit. I was just about to note before that hit that he's working very, very, very quickly. Now he's pitching from the stretch. He hasn't had to do that since the first inning.
He's got a runner to worry about. As Hickman takes a big hack at that first pitch for strike one.
Third baseman in on the grass, maybe trying to take away that Hickman bunt that we saw in the first inning. That's a great spot there on the outside corner.
As it's called for strike two. 0-2 now for Hickman. Seawork's got a little room to work with.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Hatton take off here.
Hickman able to check his swing. Got away from Williams, but not far enough that Hatton could have made a run at second.
Would have been a great pitch to run on.
1-2 now on Hickman. Seawork instead's going to toss it over to first to check Hatton.
Yeah, Hatton not getting too big of a lead. He's been kind of blocked by the pole.
The 1-2 swung on. Pitch drop, but getting the out. So Cougars, they finally got a base runner on since the first inning, but they're not able to capitalize on it. They scored 0. We're going to head to the 6th inning now. Cougars, they're still leading the Eagles 3-1. Rector back on the mound for the Cougars. Allowed 1 run last inning, but other than that, he's been pretty clean so far today. Only concern is his pitch count. He's up to 82 now.
Yeah, but if he gets through this inning here, he will put his team and his bullpen in a great position to finish this one off.
Mentioned last inning, the Cougars do have some arms going in the bullpen now.
6 innings has been about, it's a quality start. 6 innings is typically the benchmark for a pitcher, but we've really seen it with the Cougars lately. When they're able to get their starters to go 6 innings, they have had greater success. And that sounds like a pretty blanket general statement, but we saw it last week here, the IIT doubleheader, Stutzman in Game 1. I believe Litke in Game 2 that day.
Just following that off is Castile. He's going to keep the count at 0-2. Castile, he's 1 for 2 today. Had a single in the first before grounding into a double play in the third. See if he can get something going in his third time against Rector as he swings. Looks like he got a piece of it, though, so he's going to stay alive.
Must have been a pretty small piece.
It did not seem like it.
I was wondering why he wasn't booking it down the line to first.
So Rector delivers the 0-2 again. Swung on a miss. He'll get him that time. So first strikeout of the day for Jack Rector. Be number 33 on the year. So with 1 out, Cole Wilson up to bat now.
Center fielder, number 14, Cole Wilson.
Good tone setter for the 6th inning there.
This is the first pitch down low for ball 1. Next pitch in there for strike 1. That pitch gets away from Zavoli. It's a 2-1 count. Should mention last year, Rector also faced this Benedictine team at Benedictine. He went 7 innings, allowed 1 earned run as he has so far today.
Yeah, I remember that game. That I believe they lost that in 10.
See, it was a final score of 6-1 for Benedictine.
It was in 9. I might be thinking of another game.
No, that one.
Never claimed to have a perfect memory.
That one was done in 9 innings.
I remember the late burst of runs. As
So
I'm seeing the 5 in the 8th inning
Benedictine
of that
scored
box score.
5 in the bottom of the 8th to be able to take that one away.
Yeah, that was much like this one right near the end of the season. And Rector was absolutely fantastic. Yes, he did.
That pitch was high. Get the check. Wilson did not go. Count now 3-2. On the center field, started the day in right, made the move to center when Tickle entered the game. The 3-2. Looks like it almost hit Wilson, kind of shimmied out of the way, so it'll be a walk. Get a runner on with 1 out for Andrew Tennyson. He's 0 for 1 today, walked in the first inning, and then hit into a ground out in the 4th. He's got a runner on now to work with. That pitch way up in the attic. Zavoli had to make a jumping grab for it.
Zavoli showed off his vertical a little bit there.
Nice play there. Make sure that one didn't get away. Allow Wilson a chance to advance. The 1-0. That one not quite as high. Still high, though, for ball 2.
You hope that last walk isn't lingering in his mind at all.
So we mentioned it, top of the inning. Cougars really hoping Rector can just finish off this 6.
Yeah, I think he knows that this is it for him, regardless.
That one down low for ball 3
Whether
now.
or not he finds his way out of this inning. Vinny Satori's been in the bullpen for a long time now, the big right-hander. Will certainly be a change of pace for the Cougars on the mound, relieving Rector.
So Zavoli's going to take a mound trip to talk things over with his left-hander. He's got a 3-0 count on Andrew Tennyson. Runner on first with only 1 out. Chase Hanselman, he's on deck. He's 0 for 2 on the day. And in the hole, it's Peter Torelli, who's also hitless today. (3-0). Call it strike 1.
Taking all the way there. Can't say I blame him. Tennyson represents the tying run as we get to be later in this game.
Tennyson takes a big swing at that one. Can't make contact. 3-2 count now. Looks like that mound visit from Zavoli did some good as we got a full count here now. Rector delivers. Swung on. Jacob collects it. Gets the out at first, so nice running play by Christian Jacob. He had some distance to cover, and they get the out at first. So 2 outs now. Runner at second with Wilson, and that's going to bring up Chase Hanselman.
Yeah, the runner took off on that, and Jacob was kind of caught between what he wanted to do in terms of going to cover the bag, but as soon as he saw the ball in play, raced over to the hole between second and first. Nice play by him there. Even more important, they got 2 outs now. Base hit still will make this a 1-run game. So big at-bat here.
We're going to get time from Hanselman. He's flown out twice, once to left, once to right, as we're in the 2nd and 4th innings respectively. He's got a man in scoring position here as Benedictine's looking to claw their way back in this one. They're trailing the Cougars 3-0. Zavoli, Maynard, and Mariotti will be up to bat for the Cougars to get out of this inning. That one's going to be hit, and Hatton drops it. He had an eye on it all the way. So it's going to be a drop ball, and making his way to second is Hanselman. So that'll drive in run number 2 of the day for Benedictine and makes the score 3-2.
Well, now you're just in wanting to avoid the big inning. After something like that happens, good teams like Benedictine have a habit
Shortstop number 23, Peter Torelli.
of making teams pay for that. So if you're Rector, just settle back in right here. You got the lefty-lefty matchup.
Well, and the thing about that is it was a good, would have been an out as a charged error on Hatton. So Rector got what he needed. It's just an unfortunate break for the left-hander. So it'll be error on Hatton, unearned run. That'll bring up Torelli now with the man at second. Rector delivers the 1-0 up and away for ball 2. Second error on the day for the Cougars. There's a 2-0. Upstairs, ball 3. Rector is officially across the 100 pitch count. He's at 102 now. He's really hoping he can work his way out of this inning. He delivers. Called strike one. Rector's issued a walk already in this inning. That was to Cole Wilson, the second at bat of the inning. He struck out Damon Castillo to start things off. 3-run. One's going foul and out of play. And made pursuit, but wouldn't be able to make any kind of play on it.
Well, one pitch here, and Rector can close his day with a quality start and leave with the lead in line for the win. Even with the air, left-hander has put himself in a very nice position.
So 3-2 on Torelli. Big pitch coming here from Rector as he gets set, gets the signs, and he delivers in there for strike three. Big strikeout from Jack Rector. That'll do it for the top of the sixth. Benedictine, they get one more. Cougars, they still lead the Eagles 3-2. We'll be right back here on the Cougar Sports Net. Number 3 batter will lead things off here in the bottom of the sixth for the Cougars. It's Michael Zavoy. They're going to look for some insurance runs as they've seen their lead shrunk to 1 here against Benedictine.
Yeah, and, you know, with a performance like we got, like the Cougars got out of Jack Rector, you really, he leaves in line for a win against the number 1 team in the conference, and he pitched very, very well today. Put his team in a very good spot. You want to see him rewarded with the W next to his name in the final box score. So, little motivation here. It starts with his battery mate, Zavoli here. The Cougars got to start hitting like they were early on in the first inning.
Well, Rector's stat line, assuming that was his final inning, which be surprised if it wasn't. 6 innings pitched, 108 pitches. Zavoli pops that one up. It's going to be out of play. 3 hits allowed by Rector, 2 runs, only one of which was earned, 4 walks and 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, the walks were really the only issue, but he was pitching to contact against an aggressive team, as highlighted by the 2 strikeouts. And, you know, if he knows they want to swing the bat, he knows that they'll go chasing something, so that, you know, it makes the 4 walks kind of look like, okay, well, you know, he's obviously was effective in what he was trying to do out there, and that was not leave meatballs over the plate for a team who came up there wanting to swing the bats.
So let's see who the Cougars will bring in next inning, but right now Zavoli's got a 2-2 count against the Benedictine starter, CUC, who's also done really solid work for his team. Retired 13 of the past 14 batters for the Cougars. That one hit right back to CUC, knocks it down with his glove, picks it up, gets it to first for the out. Seabrook almost caught that one right off the bat, but
you're just happy to see him get his glove around on that one, as that was lined directly back at him.
Right fielder,
upper part of his body near his face. Don't want to see that happen.
So it took an extra step, but Seabrook able to get the out, and coming up and hitting a single in the left field will be Gary Maynard. Nice first pitch contact from the Cougars right fielder.
Yeah, back to an aggressive approach, and it pays dividends immediately. Maynard first pitch swinging, finds something he likes, sends it into left field. That's a big insurance run out there with some heavy hitters coming up.
Well, it'll be
surprised to see Brody swing at the first pitch here.
Brody Mariotti. If he does swing at the first pitch, good call there. Justin fouls it back. The Cougars are going to go after Seabrook a little bit now. He's up to 68 pitches. I think he has a couple innings left in him.
He could probably go the distance if they needed him to.
Fouled off by Mariotti on the season.
Maynard was taking off there. I wonder if there was maybe a hit and run or what they were looking for there, but Maynard would have had second had that not been a foul ball. So definitely aggressive in trying to get this insurance run across.
0-2 outside for ball one. As mentioned, Seabrook, one complete game on the year. Could be on track for another one here. He's got some work to do, though. Mariotti gets set for the 1-2. And went a little high and away for ball number 2. Even count now on Cougars' first baseman. One upstairs, ball 3 now. Mariotti's worked the full count here.
Quick check to Maynard. 3-2 count. Peter, what do you think here in terms of Maynard taking off?
Well, from what we've seen, you got to think he will. Cougars being a bit more aggressive this half inning.
Seward seems to agree with you.
Seabrook really wants to make sure Maynard stays. They also want to take the double play out of the option at least. They've learned to value their base runners after Seabrook's caught fire since that first inning. And the 3-2, high for ball 4, so it won't matter in the long run as Mariotti gets walked. And so 2 runners on, first and second, with 1 out. That's going to bring up Kevin Garcia.
21, Kevin Garcia.
I don't know about you, Peter, but I'm feeling a 3-run home run right here.
That would be pretty sweet for the Cougars if they can get it. Garcia does have a pop in his bat right now as he takes that one low. Maynard to third, and he's just safe. That was a close play. Nice job by Williams to grab that ball and fire to Tennyson. Maynard slid under the tag.
Yeah, it was a good tag by Maynard with how that play developed, with the speed at which that play developed. I thought they were going to have him at third because the ball did not go far.
It was a very great play by Williams. Almost got the out. If that throw was a little bit lower, they probably would have. So we have a visit on the mound now. Seabrook's found himself in trouble for the first time since that first inning. Cougars, they got 2 in scoring position now as they pull off the double steal. For Maynard, that'll be stolen base number 8 on the year, and Brody Mariotti gets his first stolen base of the year. The Cougars were more worried about Maynard.
Yeah.
They intentionally walked him.
And they're going to intentionally walk Kevin Garcia.
That's a decision I probably agree with. You have
Shortstop number 6, Matt Uba.
Maynard runs pretty well at third, but no one else on the base paths, including the batter, have particularly great speed. Now you have the force at every bag when a double play gets you out of the inning, but that certainly doesn't mean that Matthew Uba isn't capable of shooting a gap.
Well, don't want to jinx anything, but Uba did hit into a double play in the first.
Interesting note just pointed out to us. Nobody is throwing in the Benedictine bullpen, so this is Surek's inning to finish, at least as of right now. He's got the lefty-lefty matchup with Uba.
And if you
double play is in order.
And you think depending on how the next half inning goes and whether they get someone started or not, he'll have to go back out there for the next inning as well.
Well, he's one pitch away from walking in a run here, so that would make, in effect, the decision to put Garcia on base one that Benedictine would like to have back, but it's kind of hard to forecast a 4-pitch walk.
Hindsight at the end of the day, but the 3-0 outside for ball 4. That's going to walk a run home. So the Cougars, intentional walk comes back to bite Benedictine. Cougars get one across home.
Same situation here for Surek, though. He's got the lefty-lefty matchup again, working without dealing with a great deal of speed anywhere on the base paths or at the plate.
This is the first pitch to Anderson's in their first strike.
Still a chance to roll 2 and get out of the inning here if you're Benedictine, but if you're Caleb Anderson, now that you've seen that he's back to throwing strikes, you pick one out, hit it hard, and putting the ball in play should hopefully get a run home.
Get a couple runs home. If it's hit the right way, Anderson 0 for 2 today after 2 ground outs. Now he's got a 0-2 count on him. As now we see someone throwing down in the Benedictine bullpen.
I think that 4-pitch walk might have changed.
It's a real quick decision there.
Might have changed things.
Anderson will foul that one off, stay alive. Looks like the pitcher warming up is Austin Pizer for Benedictine. Freshman pitcher. And Anderson hits that one up the gap. Seawork ducked out of the way out of that one. That was a line drive right back at him.
Yeah, hit so hard that the Cougars are only able to go station to station, but regardless, Caleb Anderson delivers in a big way for CUC.
RBI single for Anderson. Bases still loaded, still only one out for the 9th batter, Michael Zavoli. No, excuse me, Christian Jacob meant to say. Got my numbers mixed up there.
That was a
Baseman number 2, Christian Jacob.
That was a hitter's dream on 0-2. That ball was grooved in there, and Anderson took it right back up the middle.
Took it right back at Searock, who put off some gymnastics to get out of the way of that one.
Wow. If that's a fair ball,
that would have been.
That's scoring at least 2.
Just goes foul, though, so 0-1 count now on Jacob. Anderson at first, Uba at second, Garcia at third.
This is their chance to break through here.
Big statement after Benedictine got 2 back. Jacob swings at that one. Looks like it hit Williams in an awkward way off the bounce on the ground.
Looks like he's upper leg maybe, where the shin guards don't quite cover.
He's going to get checked on by his coach and some of the athletic training staff here at CUC.
Athletic trainer Owen Stiff earning his paycheck today.
See, it looks like it might have hit his knee or right above it, or in the thigh area. Try to walk it off. So Williams will stay in the game, shakes it off. It's back behind home plate. 0-2 count on Christian Jacob. Bags loaded, 1 out. Cougars up 5-2 on the Eagles.
Could be favorable for Jacob here. We had a little bit of a reset at 0-2.
And the 0-2 swung on and fouled back. Howie Hatton, leadoff hitter for the Cougars, on deck. Eli Hickman in the hole. As the pitch, Jacob swung on, and that'll be line drive down the third baseline. It'll score 1. It'll score 2. Anderson, he's going to come home. There's going to be a plate at the plate, but instead it'll be a base-clearing double for Christian Jacob. Cougars, they've blown this one wide open as they now lead Benedictine 8-2.
Just unbelievable situational hitting from Christian Jacob right there. Absolutely rocketed down the line when his team needed it the most. They have a 6-run lead on the first place team in the conference, and they've chased the starting pitcher. We will step away for a minute and be back to introduce to you the new Benedictine reliever here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Cougars, they've blown things wide open here in River Forest as they lead the Eagles 8-2 after the 3 RBI double from Christian Jacob. That's going to force a new pitcher on the mound for Benedictine. It's Austin Pizer. Freshman, 11 1/3 innings pitched so far this year. 1-0 record, 3.18 ERA. His first pitch of the day is in their first strike against Howie Hatton.
And 8 runs with a 9th one still out there against one of the better starting pitchers in this conference. Cougars offense has a lot to be proud of right now.
That one, Dubeck gets the ground out. So Hatton grounds out for 3, but advancing to third is Christian Jacob. So 2 outs, man, in scoring position. That'll bring up Eli Hickman. The final stat line of the day for CUC, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 90 pitches, 7 hits, 8 runs, all of which were earned, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts on the day. As Hickman pops this one up, Hanselman made pursuit. He's not going to be able to reach it as it's out of play. Say that double from Jacob looked like that foul ball not long before it that was also hit down third baseline, hit the bag, go foul, but
rarely do you see that where it's almost a perfectly placed hit and then they follow up in the exact same spot.
Exact same spot, exactly. As Hickman grounds this one to Tennyson, fires across the diamond for out number 3, but what an inning from the Cougars. They're able to drive 5 home.
In the inning,
We're going to go to the 7th inning now. The Cougars are up big on Benedictine, 8 runs to 2. Cougars are up 6 on Benedictine, 8 runs to 2. And they got a new pitcher on the mound. It'll be the freshman, number 10, Mikey Kasich. He's going to replace Rector. We went over his final stat line last inning. We'll go over it one more time. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 2 runs, 1 of which was earned, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Just a great outing there from Jack Rector.
And Kasich is not who we talked about warming up in the bullpen, but I do like that Coach Colin Connor stuck with a left-handed pitcher just based on the success that Rector had today.
So that might be the key against Benedictine today, is keep throwing lefties out at him.
So not necessarily the move we thought based on who was warming up, but a move that I think is good. Kasich's been very good as a freshman.
So you're trying to pull up Kasich's stats here.
Had a handful of very nice outings.
21 innings pitched so far on the season for the freshman. That'll be a leadoff single for Kyle Williams, the catcher.
Good to see he's all right after taking one off the leg, in the bottom half of the last inning.
So 21 innings pitched for Kasich, 7 appearances, 3 games started, 1-2 record. He's compiled a 6 ERA, 1.62 WHIP. Freshman getting plenty of playing time so far this year. As the first pitch to Tickle is in there for a strike. Tickle pitch ran for Anthony Lenza in the top of the 5th after Lenza was hit by a pitch, and he stayed in the game playing center field. Excuse me, playing right field as Anderson bobbles that one. It gets away from him. So it'll be scored as a hit for Tickle. So 2 singles start things off here for Benedictine. And Justin, even though the Cougars are up 6, that's not a lead you can really rest back on. You got to keep your foot on the pedal against this Eagles team.
Still 9 outs to get, playing a team who wants to win a conference championship. Benedictine did not come into today thinking that that was going to be at risk of not happening. They, based off these teams' respective positions in the standings, and so Benedictine still wants to win this game. They want to do everything they can to keep piling up the wins, because the more they keep winning, the less chances Aurora has of catching them in second place. So, 9 outs to get. It's a long way from over.
Benedictine, they're sitting first at 15-1. Aurora second, as Justin mentioned, at 13-3.
The Benedictine has the head-to-head over them. They swept them out in Lyle a couple weeks back.
Meanwhile, the Cougars, they're fighting to get into the playoffs. They're currently ranked 9th at 6-10 in the conference play. The 6th seed currently Edgewood. They're 8-8. Got pitches in there for strike two, excuse me. So 1-2 count on leadoff hitter of the day, Dubeck. And the 1-2. And that's lined into right field. That should drive home at least these two. And Dubeck, he's going to try and stretch this into a triple. And he's not able to as that one gets away from Anderson. Dubeck thought about going home and said he's going to stay at third. So 2 runs come across the plate. Benedictine, they cut this lead in half as they trail the Cougars 8-4.
Well, less than ideal start to the inning for the Cougars, and here comes Coach Colin Connor. I think we're going to get the call to the bullpen. Just some unfortunate turn there. Gary Maynard was not playing the batter to pull the ball or to shoot the ball down the right field line, rather. He was pretty shallow toward right center. That ball was deep down the right field line, which is what allowed the runners to run for as long as they did. So that'll close the book on Kasich. We'll be back with the new Cougar pitcher. It'll be Vinny Sartori on the other end of this break here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Get it. Well, a new pitcher on the mound for the Cougars. It'll be Vincent Sartori, number 33. He's got a man on third to work with, 0 outs, and he's going to face one of the tougher assignments coming into a game with Kevin Bushnell, followed up by Damon Castile. Sartori's first pitch of the afternoon. Outside, Zavoli just got a piece of it, able to go out and grab it before Dubeck thought about coming home. As Sartori gets Bushnell to swing at that one for strike one. And coming into today, Sartori, 16 appearances, 4-1 record, 5.33 ERA.
I don't have a radar gun up here.
That one gets into the gap between second and first for a RBI single from Kevin Bushnell. Lead now down to 3 for the Cougars. Benedictine's making a run at things here.
First baseman number 28, Damon Castillo.
That'll bring up Castile. 1 for 3 on the day. Had a single in the first for grounding into a double play in the third and then striking out last inning in the sixth to lead things off. Now he's got a man on first, no outs against Cougar reliever Sartori.
As I was saying before that base hit, I don't have a radar gun up here, so it's hard to say for sure, but I would venture to guess Vinny's going to be throwing the most heat they've seen from any Cougar pitcher so far today. We'll see how they respond to that. See if it'll be a welcome change.
Castillo fouls that off. Strike 2, 1-2 count. Another thing to note, Sartori, the first right-hander Benedictine's going to see today from the Cougars. The left-handed Rector and Kasich. 1-2 count. Sartori delivers, gets a piece of it, so Castillo will stay alive for at least one more pitch. The Cougars got Wyatt McLaughlin going down in the bullpen. The 1-2.
Ooh.
Down low. Well, down low according to Neil Jeffrey. Your people wanting that one to be strike 3 instead. Castillo's got an even count now. Castillo, he'll go and strike out swinging. So big strikeout there from Sartori to get the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Cole Wilson now.
Center fielder, number 14, Cole Wilson.
Wilson 0 for 2. Reached on an error in the first, grounded out in the fourth, and then was walked in the sixth. He calls time here. The pitch. One outside and getting out of Zavoli's glove, but staying at first is going to be Bushnell. That one hit right back to Sartori. They fired a second, but it gets away from Jacob. It's going to find its way into center field, but the runners are going to hold at their bases. Cougars look like they could have had a big double play there.
Yeah, that's as tailor-made as it gets for the most part. It's a little tough for the pitcher to get it and pivot behind him to throw to second base, but
Third baseman, number 13,
we've
Andrew Tennyson.
talked at times today about the risk you run in giving a team like Benedictine an extra out, and just like that, the tying runs at the plate here in the seventh with only one away.
Taking a big swing at that. It's Tennyson for strike 1. So Wilson, he's going to reach on a fielder's choice. Meanwhile, Bushnell, he's going to get to second on an error credited to Vincent Sartori. That pitch was a little too low for Jacob to handle. Sartori delivers. Tennyson showing bunt before pulling back to take the ball. One and one count on Tennyson. Sartori, that pitch is up in the attic for ball 2. Benedictine, they lead the all-time series against the Cougars, 6-5. The Cougars have won the last 3 meetings, though. That's hit deep into left and foul, and almost looked like he could have made a play on it.
See if he can't get one on the ground here. Redeem.
And that'll be strike 3 called, so another big strikeout from Sartori.
That'll do just fine.
So situation looking a lot better for the Cougars now. They got 2 outs, man on first and second. I'm going to correct something I said earlier. Benedictine, they lead the all-time series 50-35. Not sure what I was looking at before. So just misclick. But Benedictine has won the last 4 games, dating back to April 24th, 2021.
Yeah, all those last season. Cougars swept the season series in 2019. Before there was no conference play in 2020.
Sartori delivers that one. Chopped foul from Hanselman.
Big for Sartori to get ahead here. Doesn't want to leave anything too far over the plate. Hanselman does have 1 home run this year. He represents the tying run, 2 outs in the 7th.
The 0-1 in there for strike 2. So big chance here from Sartori.
Even with 3 runs across this inning, you feel like this out kind of puts all of those behind them, and you're still going to the 8th with at least a 3-run lead. You're at the point where you have the 3-run lead and you have more at-bats left than they do.
Sartori delivers. Called strike 3. Vincent Sartori comes in. He gets 3 strikeouts. And that's going to send us to the bottom of the 7th. Benedictine, they get 3 runs back, but the Cougars, they're still up 3 on the Eagles, 8 runs to 5. Michael Zavoli, he'll lead things off for the Cougars. He led off the 6th inning with a ground out. For that, he struck out in the 3rd and then was hit by a pitch in the 1st. See what he can do here against Pizer.
Leading off for the Cougars, the catcher number 1, Michael Zavoli.
First pitch in there for strike one. Pizer came in, cleaned up last inning for C-Ruck, pitched 2/3. As Savoli swings at that one for strike two. Only took Pizer 4 pitches to get those 2 outs.
That's efficiency right there.
Got where we are now. As that one hits Zavoli. Zavoli taking a bit of a beating today as has his second hit by a pitch. So with Zavoli on first, Gary Maynard up to bat. Maynard 1 for 3 with a ground out, fly out, and a single. He did drive in a run with that ground out way back in the first inning.
We'll see if hitting the leadoff batter on an 0-2 pitch rattles this reliever at all. Pizer.
Well, he's got 0-1 now on Maynard. The next pitch, Maynard drives that one into left field. Nice single there for Maynard. His second in as many innings. So with runners at first and second, no outs. Big bat at the plate for the Cougars with Brody Mariotti.
First baseman number 8, Brody Mariotti.
1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single in the first and then a ground out in the fourth. He was walked last inning.
Some trouble again. So the hitters, the Cougar bats haven't quit today. They had a rough stretch when C-Ruck
was
kind of,
rolling for a couple innings.
Found his stretch, but they had the big inning last inning.
That pitch is high.
And showing how much they know they need this game. This is a win they could very much use.
When, as I mentioned last inning, Benedictine's a team you can't take your foot off the pedal against. You got to keep giving it everything you got as Mariotti takes a big hack at that one for strike one. I mean, we saw they went down 8 runs to 2. They piled 3 on the top of the 7th to get that back down to a 3-run deficit. Mariotti lifts that one foul. Even count, 2-2.
Every time he's up at the plate, you feel like he can do something special.
See if he does here as he strikes out swinging instead. That'll be the first out for Pizer. And that'll bring up yet another big bat for the Cougars with Kevin Garcia.
Designated hitter number 21, Kevin Garcia.
Garcia was intentionally walked last inning, which came back to bite Benedictine when they walked Matthew Uba to drive in a run, and then Garcia eventually crossed home in a base-clearing double from Christian Jacob. They'll take first pitch low and away, ball 1.
Probably see Garcia catch in game 2 of the doubleheader.
And he drives that one into left. Zavoli, he's going to go for it as
misplayed.
The outfielders bobble it. And that's going to be a single for Kevin Garcia, and he'll reach second on the air. He'll drive Michael Zavoli home. The Cougars, they get 1 run right back. Their lead's back up to 4, 9-5.
Cougars catch a bit of a break there. Zavoli runs well, especially for a catcher, but I don't think he was scoring on that because he had to wait to make sure that ball got past him. Didn't get hit by the ball off the bat of Garcia, so he got a bit of a late jump, and I didn't think he was going to score with how hard that ball was hit, but the misplay out there allowed him to race around and allowed Maynard to advance behind him. Garcia got run for at second base, so.
Shortstop number 6, Matt Uba.
That'll bring up the shortstop, Matt Uba. That one gets away from Williams. Maynard's going to come across. He'll score another run. Cougars are in double digits now as they lead Benedictine 10 runs to 5.
At third base for Garcia, number 4, Sergio Vasquez.
I should have mentioned we have a pinch runner at third now for Kevin Garcia. It's number 4, Sergio Vasquez Jr.
Good eye from Uba there. If they don't want to throw him strikes, he's not gonna go chasing anything. Took the 4-pitch walk last time with the bases loaded. Knows what's at stake here.
The 2-0 Uba lines that one into right field down the first base line. Vasquez is going to come across to score easily. Uba, he's going to stretch it into 2.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So RBI hit there for Matthew Uba. The right fielder Tickle misplayed it. Looks like they're going to give an error to him. So
these responses from the Cougars have been fantastic today. Every time you think, anytime Benedictine has chipped away and put a little bit of pressure on them, they've had the answer.
Well, they got to keep giving everything they got against the top team in the conference, and they've been doing that so far today.
Yeah, this is what it looks like when you're up for the test. They got the 3 early. They made a statement in the first inning. Even if the starters still had a good start, good quality start, they have been relentless when they need to be at the plate, as the 11 runs would suggest.
Anderson takes that one high and away. 2-1 count now on the Cougar third baseman. Count now at 3-1. Anderson gets something to hit here. He makes contact, fouls that one off into the track here at Concordia. Three-two fouled off again. Uba at second in scoring position for Anderson. Only one out here. And that's going to be strike 3 looking. Anderson's not happy about that call. So up for the 9th hitter now, it's Christian Jacob.
Second baseman, number 2, Christian Jacob.
Jacob hit that big 3 RBI double last inning. Still represents driving in one of the winning runs right now. He's got a 1-0 count on Pizer. Swings at that one.
Bit of an aggressive swing there.
1-1 now. That was didn't look like it was in a hittable area, but Jacob said he's going to go for it anyways. The 1-1 in there for strike 2. And now the 1-2 lifted into center. Wilson comes across to make the grab, but the Cougars, they respond in great fashion after Benedictine scored 3 in the top of the 7th. The Cougars score 3 of their own in the bottom of the 7th. They're going to take an 11-5 lead into the 8th inning here at Concordia, Chicago.
Now playing shortstop number
Benedictine
29,
back up to
Jaime
bat.
Sandoval.
They trail the Cougars by 6, 11-5. It's going to be Peter Torelli at the plate. 0 for 3, 2 groundouts and a strikeout. The first pitch from Sartori is called for strike one.
Eagles shortstop number 23, Peter Torelli.
Well, Justin, we saw the Cougars responded to the Benedictine runs. See what Benedictine can do here after the Cougars got 3 of their own.
Well, the hope for the Cougars is that with a clean inning and a clean slate to come in with, Sartori settles in and gets the pitching like we know he can. He was not bad last inning by any means. He had what should have been the inning-ending double play.
This one is caught by Howie Hatton, made a nice little leaping grab.
Just out of reach of the view of our camera.
That one was above his head, and he made a nice little jump to grab it.
Very nice play by Hatton. Go steal that out for out number 1.
While running nonetheless, too. So out number 1.
Quick out for Sartori, most importantly.
Sartori up to 22 pitches so far in his outing.
Yeah, I don't know what the plan will be for the 9th. We'll see whether or not it's a save situation, I suppose. You'd hope not. You would assume with an 11-5 lead, they'll just roll with Sartori through the remainder of this game.
Doesn't look like anyone's thrown in the bullpen as Williams fouls this one down the right field line. 0-2 count now. Cougars did have, I believe it was White McLaughlin throwing earlier. I think he's stopped.
Yeah, the hope would be to save him for game 2 if you're in a similar situation to where you're in right now. Obviously playing to get the win against the top team in the conference.
That pitch is low and very much away. Nice job there by Zavoli to cover. Get in front of it. So 1-2 now. Pitch from Sartori. Swung on and missed. Strike number 3. Make that strikeout number 4 so far today for Sartori. And with 2 outs now, it's Sam Tickle. He'll get his second at-bat of the day. Hit a single last inning. See what he can do here with 2 outs against Sartori.
Yeah, Rector only 2 strikeouts in his 6 very good innings. So Sartori is missing bats at a higher rate than other Cougars who have thrown today.
And I think the thing with that is it's just a change of pace for Benedictine. They're used to Rector's really working the counts, trying to induce ground balls and whatnot, and now Sartori's coming here and just trying to get some swings and misses.
Just firing him in there, exactly right.
As he does that again, gets strike 1 against Tickle.
And both have been very effective, so props to pitching coach Matt Smith and the scouting report for the Cougars. Like you mentioned, Sartori and Rector, different approaches, both effective.
So the 1-1. Sartori delivers. Swung on that. Hit Zavoli on the mask. Looks unfazed. I assume he's used to stuff like that at this point. So 1-2 after Tickle got a piece of that one. Sartori set and delivers. That one right in front of the feet of Tickle. Good block there by Zavoli. Not that there's anyone on base to really worry about. The 2-2. Fouled back. Count's going to stay even at 2 apiece. 2-2 again from Sartori, fouled off again. This one chopped into the Benedictine dugout. So we get set for the 2-2 once again. And this one in there for called strike 3. Vincent Sartori making this look easy as he gets 2 strikeouts here in the top of the 8th. We're going to go to the bottom of the 8th as the Cougars look on to tack some insurance runs here in River Forest. Top of the lineup due for the Cougars. There'll be Howie Hatton, Eli Hickman, and Michael Zavoli. First up is Howie Hatton. 2 for 4 on the day. Fly out, ground out, single, and a double. First pitch from Pizer called strike 1.
I think that zone's expanding more and more as we move deep into this game. Yeah. That was not a strike in the first inning.
You know, Jeffrey was pretty tight about it up top. And as Justin said, he's allowing more and more as the game has gone on, as that pitch is low for ball 1. The pitch lifted into center and going all the way back to make the grab is Wilson. So fly out to start things off here in the bottom of the 8th.
Center fielder, number 19, Eli Hickman.
It'll be Eli Hickman. Justin, the Cougars, they might have a 6-run lead here on the Eagles, but you know they're going to want to tack on a couple more before going to that 9th inning.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're playing for what would be, to this point, your biggest win of the season in all likelihood. And one that, quite frankly, they'd be stealing one. And that in terms of thinking about the playoff picture and their odds of getting into the conference tournament, you really wanted the split today. That, you know, coming in. If you win game 1.
So a split would have been nice. As
well, now the pressure's on Benedictine going into game 2.
That one gets over a leaping Dubeck. Hickman's going to hold at first for a single. I think another thing's just a pride thing, too. I mean, Benedictine, a big conference rival. You like just really sticking it to them, especially when they're sitting all the way up at number 1 in the conference.
Oh, no doubt about it. This is historically there have been some big matchups between these two schools. Cougars trying to show the Eagles that they can still play with them.
That pitch gets a piece of Zavoli's bat for strike 1. Cougars are riding a 2-game win streak right now. Won a game at Carthage this past Tuesday, 5-1. Before that, they took the second game of a doubleheader last Sunday at Concordia University, Wisconsin, 15 runs to 5.
Yeah, and they were in both those games. That was definitely a day they were, you know, upset not to come home with a sweep.
Pizer thought about checking the runner at second, but no one's covering second. Just letting him know. That one away for ball 1. Meanwhile, Benedictine They're riding a 2-game losing streak. Both of those were to non-conference opponents. As the 1-2 outside for ball 2. They lost this past Wednesday 11-4 at North Park University. And then the day before, Tuesday, they played host to North Central College. They lost that game 7-3.
The Naperville rivalry.
That's going to be called strike 3 on Zavoli. I don't think he even thought about swinging at that one. So 2 outs on the inning. That's going to bring up Gary Maynard. Maynard 2 for 4. He started 0 for 2 on the day, and he's hit 2 singles in the past 2 innings.
Well, a third one here should be an insurance run.
He's got Hatton at second. Excuse me, he's got Hickman at second, meant to say. That pitch lifted into center field above the jumping Dubek once again, and safely crossing home plate is Hickman. So an RBI single for Gary Maynard. He's now got hits in 3 straight innings. And that almost looked like an exact carbon copy of Hickman's single that was lifted right above Dubek's head.
First baseman number 8, Brody Mariotti.
Yeah, the approach has been fantastic from Maynard the last few at-bats. The results have followed.
So Maynard takes that one outside for ball 1. Maynard's got a single in today's game, a walk. Mariotti. Single, a walk, strikeout, and a ground out.
Needs just 1 home run to tie the school record.
Well, now would be a pretty nice time to get one, you'd think. And on a couple more runs here. Cougars up 12-5 on Benedictine after that RBI single from Maynard. One high for ball number 2. And that one's going to get down for a hit into left field. Maynard's going to hold at second. So 2 out single from Mariotti.
We got a pinch hitter here. It'll be Mr. Cooper Hines.
So it'll be Cooper Hines. He's going to pinch hit. Pinch hit for Sergio Vasquez, who pinch ran for Kevin Garcia, the designated hitter.
Well, how about this? How about we don't even worry about the 9th inning at all? Cooper Hines ends it with 1 big swing here.
Pitch hitting for Vasquez,
Save.
number 3, Cooper
Save
Hines.
Sartori's arm or give him the rest of the day off. Want to know count on the pinch hitter, Hines. Hines will pop that one up. Hanselman getting under it for the grab and out number 3. So we're going to head to the 9th inning. The Cougars look to shut things down here in River Forest. They lead Benedictine 12 runs to 5. Top of the ninth here in River Forest. The Cougars look to close the door on this first game of today's doubleheader. Vincent Sartori looking for the 3-inning save. He's got a nice 7-run cushion to work with after the Cougars tacked one more on last inning.
Second baseman number 8, Ryan Dubeck.
Going to start the rally attempt for Benedictine. It's Ryan Dubeck.
So if you're the Eagles, the best case scenario here is you do have the top of the order, even though you're chasing 7 runs.
The pitch called for ball 2. Excuse me, ball 1. See that scoreboard out in right field. Says something different. That one gets a piece of Sartori's glove and is going to dribble away for him. So that'll be an infield hit from Dubeck. Bit of an unfortunate break there for Sartori. He got a piece of it, but he slowed it down that it couldn't reach Jacob in time, and Sartori couldn't chase it down in time.
A lot of balls hit back to the pitcher today for both teams.
Either way, it's a good start here for Benedictine. The leadoff hitter gets on. Kevin Bushnell up to bat now as that one's high for ball 1. Sartori has 1 save on the year. As the next pitch popped up, Dewey, the new left fielder, should have mentioned that. Nathan Dewey now in left field for the Cougars as he brings that one in for the first out.
Big to get Bushnell out of the way there.
First baseman number 28,
Dewey
David Castillo.
defensively replacing Howie Hatton. So this will bring up Damon Castile. Castile 1 for 4. He got a hit in the first inning. Since then he's grounded out into a double play and then struck out twice. As they're saying he didn't go on that one.
I mean, that's another one that the home plate umpire could make himself. That looked like a swing from up here.
Pretty clear from up here in the broadcast booth, and we're not in the best perspective either. So Tori's going to throw to first to check the runner. (1-0). The pitch. Get a piece of it is Castile. So Castile 1-1 against Sartori. Dubeck at first after his single to lead off the inning. The pitch called ball number 2.
Just inside.
Cole Wilson on deck. Andrew Tennyson in the hole. Eagles are able to reach him. Got 1 out after Bushnell just flew out. And the pitch fouled back. Count even now at 2-2. Sartori has 5 strikeouts and 2 1/3 innings pitched. If he can get number 6 here, 2-2 count, and he delivers. That one's in the dirt. Good block by Zavoli. That's going to keep Dubeck at first and make it a full count now, 3-2. So Tori set for a big 3-2 pitch, delivers. That one deep fly into center field. And Hickman gets under it and makes the grab.
One away, one out to go, Peter.
So one more.
This would be, to this point, the biggest win of the Cougars season
Center fielder number 14.
by far.
And like
a statement win late in the year over the top team in the conference.
And like we're talking about, this is still the first game of the day's doubleheader. I mean, Cougars would have been happy to come in here and get a split against a very good Benedictine team, but
Now the pressure is all on the Eagles in game number 2 if the Cougars hold on here. The pressure is on Benedictine not to come away with 2 losses on an afternoon while they're holding on to a 2-game lead in the conference.
trying to hold on to a conference title here. The first pitch from Sartori will be ball 1. Wilson still looking for his first hit of the day. He's reached base 3 times. He's been walked, and then he reached on an error and a fielder's choice. That one is hit foul. His other at bat, he grounded out to Brody Mariotti at first. See what he can do here now with a runner on first. Eagles down to their last out.
I'm curious, Peter, as to why, with a 7-run lead, he's even thinking about the runner at first base.
It's an
2
interesting
strikes away from ending this
choice.
game.
And you could say he's giving himself some time as that pitch is fouled back. Maybe he's trying to give himself a little, get himself into a routine and whatnot, but you don't want to risk anything by trying to make a throw to first when.
Well, more than that, the focus just has to be here on the batter at home plate on Cole Wilson and throwing strike 3 right here, getting the Cougs a huge win.
And the pitch gets away from Zavoli. And now we got a run out down. And the throw to second is going to be in time, and that'll be out number 3. Out number 27, and the Cougars, they come away with a big Game 1 win here against Benedictine. They're going to have a chance for a sweep today, but they're going to be happy with this 12-5 win. Justin, that was just a great game all around from the Cougars.
Well, they came out strong. They were up against a very good starting pitcher who did not have his best stuff in the first inning, and they took immediate advantage of that. With that 3-run first inning, they set the tone for the rest of the way. Jack Rector responded fantastically to pitching with the lead. He was brilliant over 6 innings of work. Bullpen did enough to shut it down. Vinny Sartori was fantastic out of relief. And more importantly than anything, that Cougar offense fought through all the down innings. When Seward got into his rhythm, they came out in a big way in the late innings, added to their lead, really just took all hope away from Benedictine of winning the game. That is a situation you want to be in. You want Benedictine coming to the bat in the 8th inning and in the 9th inning, chasing 6 runs, chasing 7 runs, even with all their talent, knowing that it's going to take a lot to come back and win this game. The Cougars played a very good baseball game in game number 1. Now the pressure is on the team in the third base dugout who's meeting on the left field line right now. They're trying to hold on to a conference lead. Cougars are playing for a spot in the conference tournament. We have set the stage for a great, very important game number 2 coming up in 30 minutes.
Well, I don't think I could have better summed that up myself. We'll go over some final game totals. Winning pitcher for the Cougars, there's Jack Rector. Vincent Sartori coming away with the save. Meanwhile, Steven Saruk coming away with the loss for Benedictine. Saruk's going to fall to 4-3. Rector 1-1. Sartori, that was his second save on the season. Cougars, they scored 12 runs on 13 hits, 3 errors. The Eagles, they score 5 on 8 hits. And they come away with 2 errors of themselves. Benedictine's going to fall to 21-9 overall, 15-2. That's something to mention. That was only their second conference loss all year. Meanwhile, the Cougars are going to improve to 14-17 and 7-10 in conference play. So that'll do it here in Game 1. Cougars take it 12-5. Say thanks to the crew making this possible. CJ Sellner, our sports information director, working stats, scoreboard, whatnot. Caleb McLeod down on field level taking photos. I was joined by Justin Bjorseth, my partner for this game and next game. We'll be back with you for that one in just about 30 minutes here on the Cougar Sports Net.